see what I'm trying to tell you. So, if you take a big chunk of clay because you're trying to be, I don't want to use the word lazy, but let's say you're trying to manipulate the system. You're like, I know what I need to get the A here, and I'm going to do less than the bare minimum, and I'm going to make a mediocre. You can. Oh, I didn't even turn on my TV. I'm going to make a mediocre cylinder because I can get full credit for it. The problem with that is when you do that, you are behind for next term when we make bowls, bottles, and vases. And when we do that, there will be requirements and there will be a grading scale that goes with it. Okay, so if you take a big chunk of clay, throw it down here, barely open it up, cut it in half, and it's 1.5 inches thick, and it has a barely a hole in it, right? And you're like, that's the best I can do. Either you didn't ask questions on getting better, you really didn't do the 6 days worth of work, or there's a third option. I don't know what it is. So do your best. This isn't one of those things where it's just like, I'm just trying to get through it. This is setting you up for success later. Okay, so I'm going to take a chunk of clay, I'm going to cut it in half. Okay, I'm going to turn it into a ball. Pat that down, start your wheel. Add some water. I'm going to seal this up. So as I'm doing this in your heads, think through, what are the steps? What are those 6 variables? What am I doing? Am I going fast? Am I going slow? Where are my hands? Where are my elbows? So I sealed it up. No shadows at the bottom. Push in, roll my hands over. If you notice something, I throw with a sponge. It's in my hand almost all the time, so I can always just add water as needed. I don't need to reach up. There. I'm going to bring this down. Left hand comes here, right hand on top. Push that down nice and slow, nice and controlled. When it starts to dry out, add a little bit of water. Now, I'm down at the bottom. I don't need to cone this back up. I just need to refine it. So I'm going to come here and push in. I'm going to come here and push down. Back in and down. Now, if it's not doing what you want, you need to change one of a couple of things. One, you can go further up and bring it further down. I usually keep it about the same, but I increase my wheel speed just a little bit. And we're working this clay until it kind of gives us a sigh of relief. It goes, ah, that feels good. It's not fighting you anymore. And sometimes it takes longer. Okay, if you're looking at my hand, a lot of you hang your hands over like this, and our left hand is going to be pretty straight up and down. So I'm getting the the contact there. Push that down. Okay. When it's centered, you're going to open it. Push down. Again, I'm using my sponge. You don't have to. Using your sponge is a whole lot easier. You don't have to keep adding water. Check the bottom. I'm going to open this up. I'm going to come right here, ring finger and middle finger through my thumb. Pull out. Now, I have 4 minutes, so this will be okay. I'm going to drop straight down here, thumb on the outside, left fingers on the inside, thumbs touching. And I'm going to push in with my right hand and lift up with both hands. And it's really important that I move in and up. If I just go up, I'm going to move out. Okay. If this doesn't work, throw your index finger out. You're just going to push to your middle finger. I'm going to push in. Okay, and I wait for that clay to circle around a bunch of times. And then I'm going to pinch and lift up. And then I just hang out at the top. I don't pull through the top, I just hang out there. I'm going to take my water out. And then you're going to do 3 things from here. Okay, you're going to clean up the bottom. So we have all this extra clay at the bottom, okay? And we need to practice now because when we make bowls, bottles, or vases, you're gonna take these all the way off and you really need to know how to do this. So we're gonna take this tool, and I don't know what you can see. Can you see that at all on the TV? Okay, I'll do it out here. Remember, you do it right here, but it comes right here at 3 o'clock and you pierce it. So for you, you hold steady, 2 hands, you pierce that down till it hits the bottom, and then you're going to take that off. Now, an easy way to take that off, sorry, I just brought a needle tool over. Oh, right here. You bring your needle tool right here, turn your wheel on, cut underneath that, and then you can come in here and peel that away. Okay, so we cleaned up the bottom. We're going to use a metal rib and rib it just a little bit. Again, this is practice time. This won't do anything for you right this second, but when we get to making bowls, you've got to practice using your rib. And so I'm going to come here and just gently push up. Now, what does that look like out here? It goes and it just gently moves up. On a rib, if you have something flat, use the round side. If you have something round, use the flat side. Okay. Now, from there, we're going to cut this in half. So I'm going to take my wire tool. And this is the last step. So when you're on day 5 and 6, you should be doing this a couple of times. Because sometimes you'll come in and be like, Jones, on day 5, I did fine. Day 6 was just an off day. Okay? So on day 5, you're going to come in and you're going to start cutting these in half. Pull halfway through, straight up. I want you to tip that just like so. You're going to find either a wood knife or a needle tool like that. Okay? And point it towards you out here. I don't really care. And then you're going to take a photo of that. Okay? And it's going to tell me what, so it'll, from your point of view, it'll look like that. Okay? Yeah. From what it'll tell me is how tall it is because of the needle tool. It'll tell me kind of the thickness and all of that great stuff. Okay? And I'm not grading this in the sense of, well, it's not, because that's 5 inches. Okay, remember how we talked about that? That in some schools that's a B, right? So I'm not grading it like that. I'm grading, did you do this, and does it show some improvement? What it'll also help me if it looks like you struggled pretty heavily, then I can have a conversation with you specifically about your project and be like, okay, we can talk about these things. If you want to do this, we can spend a little bit of extra time. If you get a piece that's about 3 inches tall, we can turn that into a bowl. If it's mostly centered and pulled up 3 inches, we can make a bowl out of that. Hard to make a bottle out of something that short, but so just kind of keep that in mind as we're going. I want to take the pressure off, but I want you to understand that if you don't push yourselves in this, you are going to have a hard go at the project when it counts. So keep that in mind. And you're going to do that. and you're gonna take, I need one photo. If you wanna send me different photos, be like, hey, this is my 5th day, and this is my 6th day. Look how much I improved. Fantastic. These projects are going to be due before spring break. So they go on next term's grade before spring break. So again, if you're struggling and you're like, this term you made up all your time, you'd be like, but I want maybe one more day, come in after school and take care of that, okay? You push yourself as far as you can so that we can make better bowls, bottles, or base sets next term. Cool? So cool. I feel like I read the time wrong. Anyone know what time we get out of here? 15? Wow. That was way early. Anything else I need to cover? I have 8 minutes. I can show you something else. Hand building. Is there something specific on